If you or your loved one is impacted by diabetes and have questions, the Barbados Diabetes Foundation has the answers.
It's always easier to reverse diabetes, certainly control it properly and avoid complications if you at least know that you have it.
So it's just again to re-emphasize the importance of good diabetic care. And diabetic care it involves really almost every part of the body. So it's your feet, your heart. But again, we're coming back to what our main focus is at this time is the eye care.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren, St. Michael, is your source of diabetic care. You can reach them by calling 243-EYES, 243-3937 for more information.
It's 9 o'clock on VOB 92.9 FM, and this is the weekend to be fussy, because it's not just any weekend, it is Crop Over Kadooment Weekend, yes! And right now you are about to hear 15 of the healthiest eye-opening minutes you will ever hear on VOB 92.9 FM with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank. The power to make a difference. Yes. Good morning to Larry and all of Larry friends who are listening, who listen every single Saturday. This is Peter the Boys here. Happy Kadooment Weekend to you. Compliments the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, the institution that primarily looks after the needs of diabetics and pre-diabetics, located in Warren, St. Michael, your one-stop shop for all of your diabetic needs. They want to remind you that if you are going jumping for Kadooment Day Monday, make sure you are wearing proper shoes to protect your foot. And we also want to remind you that they have podiatry services located at the Diabetes Center, where if you get your feet injured on the road Monday, make sure you call the Maria Holder Diabetes Center bright and early Tuesday morning. Don't wait. There's also eye screening services available at the center, screening your eyes for diabetic retinopathy. I pause because by now you should know that even before I say. Once you are diabetic, you need to get your eyes screened every year for diabetic retinopathy. And you can call the Diabetes Center at, I should call this number. You feel I should call this number, Larry? Because every single week I come on this program and call this telephone number, so everybody should know it by now. But just in case you don't, the number to call is 243-3937. That is the number you should call to make that appointment for diabetic retinopathy, to get your feet looked at for podiatry services, to get your vascular treatment if you got bad circulation and your feet swell up and thing. 243-3937. The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, your one-stop shop for all of your diabetic needs. Remember that. So let us focus on our topics for this morning. We have a segment coming up with how you should be eating this long Kadooment weekend. Listen out for that. But first, let us deal with pre-diabetes. If you are pre-diabetic or know someone who is pre-diabetic, you should pay close attention to this next segment that is coming up now. Or if you know somebody, you should call them and tell them, tune in to VOB right now. They got something you need to listen to. Because right now, we are going to hear from Dr. Damian Henry, who has been diabetic for 30 years, so he's personally knowledgeable about the condition. So we asked Dr. Henry what advice would he have for persons who are pre-diabetic. And he said,
So pre-diabetes is an interesting thing. Pre-diabetes is more a precursor to type 2 diabetes, not type 1. So you don't get pre-diabetes for type 1s. But pre-diabetes is basically stems out of where you have a strong family history, or you have challenges in terms of your weight management. What happens here in these individuals is that the body has a problem handling sugar and or carbohydrates, and it takes a while for the sugar levels in the body to actually come back down to normal. So the pancreas doesn't function as it should. As a pre-diabetic, well, first thing you need to know your predispositions. So if you have a strong family history of diabetes, what do we mean by this? A first-degree relative, that's either mother, father, aunt, uncle, somebody close to you who is diabetic. Probably a strong indicator that you will probably have that same gene. And it means, therefore, as you get older, what will happen is that the way you handle sugar may be a problem. So what you want to do is basically you want to look at your sugar consumption. So the classic Bajan desserts and snacks that we like to snack on, you stop by your bread shop on a Sunday evening your body, your turnovers, your current slices, and them kind of things. Those kind of things you want to cut. Yeah. Those are the very refined sugars, the ice creams, all those kind of things that would really drive your sugars up. If you have them, you want to have small amounts because you know that you are somebody who is predisposed to having an issue. So that is one thing. And the other thing is exercise. You need to keep fit. You need to burn off those extra calories. Those are things that actually keep the body functioning and working as it should. So knowing your risks and actually working to prevent this risk. Pre doesn't mean diabetic. It means that you're in the stage just before, and if you do the right things, you can actually delay that for a very long time. Some people become pre-diabetic in the 30s. Some people become pre-diabetic in the 20s. However, how you live is going to determine when you become diabetic. If you do the right things, you can delay that by as many as 20 or 30 years in some cases. A word to the wise is sufficient.
Explain the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
Right, so type 2 diabetes is the most common type of diabetes that most people see in all around the world. Accounts for more than 90% of persons who are diabetic. Well, type 2 diabetics, classically, in the older, when it was being trained, they would say, generally speaking, the older persons in the population, but we are seeing a shift in that happening in younger individuals now. In type 2 diabetics, the issue is not insulin production. Persons produce insulin in type 2 diabetics. Problem is that the insulin that's produced is not sufficient. And in these individuals, what happens is that there's an issue in terms of when the insulin is released. So you eat, but the insulin may not be released in the appropriate time. So there's insulin being produced in type 2 diabetics. In type 1 diabetics, what happens is that persons who have type 1 diabetes, there has been damage to the pancreas itself, the islets of Langerhans, those are little cells that are responsible for producing insulin, those are damaged, and these individuals do not produce insulin at all. So there's what we call an insulin deficiency, and there are hormones to show, there are antibodies that show that these islets of Langerhans have been destroyed. There's a class of persons with type 2 diabetes who may require insulin. They're called insulin deficient type 2 diabetics. And this happens with time where the pancreas burns up. In these individuals, the difference between those and type 1s is that type 1s have the antibodies and type 2s don't have the antibodies. That's where we get really nitty-gritties and complex. But the main difference is, if you want to keep it simple for the average person out there, type 1s, generally speaking, don't have the ability to produce insulin because the cells in the pancreas have been destroyed. Tends to be a younger person, but can happen in older people as well. And type 2 diabetics, previously more older people, but they have the ability to produce insulin. And the insulin is just not in the correct quantities, or you may have insulin resistance where the body doesn't respond to the insulin as it should. So those are the major differences between the two classes of individuals.
Thank you, Dr. Damian Henry, for that healthy information that you only hear exclusively on this show. You heard when Dr. Henry mentioned about eating too much sweet things? Listen to you.
Your turnovers, your current slices, and them kind of things. Those kind of things you want to cut.
That is the same thing that dietitian Victoria Cox has been preaching on this show ever since, about the dangers of eating too much sugar and too much unhealthy food. And you know, this is a long weekend. You're going to crop over shores and things, and you might not feel like cooking, and you might just want to relax and treat yourself, and you might be wondering what dietitian Victoria Cox has to say about that. This is Victoria.
It's the weekend. I don't want to cook. I enjoy eating out. How negative or bad is this? We all enjoy a treat on the weekends or buying something different to eat or not really having to cook. But the reality is how often we do this makes all the difference. If we eat out at least 2 or 3 times every weekend consistently, that really begins to add up, especially considering that these weekend meals are often things maybe high in fat. So fried foods, chips, fatty cuts of meat. We might be getting a sweet drink along with that. So, while I don't expect everybody to give up their weekend treat meals, I do encourage people to reduce how frequently they include them. So maybe setting a goal for yourself of eating out no more than once every other weekend, even once a month. So it's about reduction in frequency as an initial goal. Above and beyond that, you can consider, are there some healthy choices that can be applied when you're buying food? Are there options that are not fried? So grilled fish or something that's been cooked on the barbecue, roasted sweet potato instead of French fries. And of course, is there some kind of option for a vegetable, steamed veg, stir-fried veg, a tossed salad, and round that off with water instead of a sweet drink, would be the ways that you can kind of tweak eating out on the weekends to be a little bit healthier.
Thank you, Victoria. And now it's time for our song of the day. It's crop over weekend, so we are going to have a crop over song. This is a philosophical song, reminding you not to let all the bad-minded people keep you down. All the people that's been talking your name behind your back and dropping nasty remarks. This is Lil Rick and Just J from Crop Over 2023 with Mind Off. Compliments, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center and Republic Bank.
Dirty, bad mind. Dirty, dirty, bad mind. Dirty, dirty, bad mind. Them just a lava, lava and pale for me. I don't give up. Don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up. Don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. Bad mind can't stress me. Them don't impress me. Them a run off them mouth and talk like the informer of the century. Pure hate and envy and pretend to be friendly. Them will smile in your face and stab you in the back, so dangerous and deadly. Them bad mind and stupid, I don't know why they do it. Got them nose up in my business, on my name like freaking snitches. Them feisty and nosy and always telling stories, but them don't really know me, so just love me. Them just a lava, lava and pale for me. I don't give up. Don't give up. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. The more them talk, the more them chat, the more Jah bless me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Take your dirty mind off of me. Cause the more them talk and the more them chat, Jah bless me. Shut your mouth and stop talk. You all have a mouth sharp. Always got something to say because you're malicious to blood. Them all dirty heathen will hate on you for no reason. Them a run them out just for clout and come off like a big time freak then. Them bad mind and stupid, I don't know why they do it. Got them nose up in my business, on my name like freaking snitches. Them feisty and nosy and always telling stories, but them don't really know me, so just love me. Them just a lava, lava and pale for me. I don't give up.
Just about a couple months ago, Diabetes Foundation, they had called me, Dr. Prophet, send a message that they were doing the eye screening program, and I went and I had my eyes done, both me and my fiance, and I can say that I was well satisfied with what they did with the result. Right now the cataract is under control. I would say yes, that is very good. It's very good for diabetic. I would give it a 5-star.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren St. Michael, with their diabetic eye screening program, offers a standard of service that equals or surpasses any you might receive internationally. So if you're a diabetic or pre-diabetic and listening to your radio right now, you need to make an appointment and get your eyes screened by calling 243-3937 to make that appointment. In addition, there's now a new vascular service that is the centerpiece of a national campaign that will highlight the discovery of early circulatory problems in the limbs and extremities of at-risk persons. So if you are having vascular or circulation problems, call and make an appointment at 417-5980 or 243-3937. The last 15 minutes you heard on VOB was brought to you of the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank. Until next time, take care of your eyes.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937.